The scribes of the Eastern Celestial Pavilion whispered of the chaos that had erupted in the Sapphire Abyss, their ink trembling across the parchment as if aware of the calamity itself. Lu Xun's blade, still stained with the essence of fallen sects, lies dormant for now, while the air vibrates with the restless aura of the newly awakened Alchemy Emperors. As the lingering shadows of the previous duel stretch across the broken peaks, one cannot ignore the subtle tremor in the Divine Dao, an omen that even the mightiest will be tested beyond reckoning. Prepare your senses. For recap, Alchemy Emperor of the Divine Dao, Chapter 1509. Chapter 1510 will guide us through the storm's eye, where allegiance, ambition, and fate collide with merciless force. A cold smile curved Ling Han's lips as he lifted his gaze to the mountain winds that howled like celestial beasts across the craggy peaks. "If it is a battle you seek, then a battle you shall have," he said, voice steady and calm. Amidst the chaos of gusting winds and jagged rocks, he felt no fear for anyone even at the consummate level of the eternal river tier. And should a pinnacle cultivator dare approach, he would still have the mettle to contend. Hukan inhaled sharply, his chest rising with a surge of restrained power. "You underestimate us," he hissed. "Do you truly believe the hardships of this place render us helpless? We simply refuse to pay the price demanded." His eyes gleamed with a warrior's fury. "But if you are so eager to provoke us, then prepare to reap the consequences." With a sudden motion, Hukan drew upon his secret art. Pa! 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 The sound of tearing fabric and stretching sinew filled the air as his body erupted, muscles swelling like mountain boulders. His figure expanded threefold, revealing a body sculpted from stone itself. Despite the stark exposure, his presence was awe-inspiring, more akin to a living statue than a mere mortal. A woman's voice rang out, threaded with envy and admiration. "Brother Ken has mastered the Eight Stones technique to the second level. Once invoked, his body becomes indomitable." Indeed, this secret technique was the crown jewel of the Eight Stones tribe, the bedrock of their strength. Few had dared, fewer still had succeeded in reaching the second level within the Forbidden Lands. Hukan's arrogance was justified, his power undeniable. The mountain winds, which had threatened all around, now found their fury blunted against his newfound stone form. He could draw deeply upon his strength for offense, though even this form demanded origin power to sustain. Yet even at half of his full might, Hukan's confidence burned bright. Would that be insufficient to challenge Ling Han? With a roar that shook the mountaintop, Hukan lunged like a wild bull. His movement was the Eight Stones body art, a celestial realm secret, a show of raw, unyielding power. Ling Han's response was one of unshaken resolve. To compete with a stone-born titan in sheer physique, he only needed a small, knowing smile. Lifting his foot, he met Hukan's charge head-on. "You court death." Hukan's voice boomed, disdain lacing each word. His fist, studded with jagged stone spikes, thrust toward Ling Han, a strike meant to shatter form and spirit alike. Ling Han's own fist erupted, entwined with sword intent. From it, a blood crow of colossal size took wing, dwarfing the standard conjurations of the blood crow formation. Its wings flapped with celestial precision, releasing torrents of sword chi entwined with the very tides of time, each strike a weaving of 10 formations, a manifestation of the lightning sword technique. Fear flickered across Hukan's face before the attack even landed. He had not the freedom to unleash his full might, restrained by the mountain's furious winds. The blood crow descended, sweeping sword chi over him, and his stone-studded fist shattered under the onslaught. Blood spattered? Rage and disbelief warring across his features. Were it not for the mountain's relentless assault, he would have dominated. Yet now he found himself staggered and humbled. Ling Han's smile was calm, almost teasing. "Perhaps it is wiser to surrender. I have questions that need answers, after all." Hukan's sneer was icy. "In your dreams." He drew a talisman, and Ling Han's expression darkened, the aura of a saint's decree stirring in his senses. This was no trifling magic. With a flourish, Hukan tore the talisman, unleashing a blinding brilliance. In a blink, 7 figures vanished from the mountaintop, their presence snuffed out by the teleportation magic. They reappeared only at the foot of the mountain, safe from the howling winds, yet still within the bounds of the small dimension. Here, they dared to shout their challenge. "Brat, do you dare descend and face us?" Ling Han merely continued to carve steps into the mountainside, undisturbed. The seven, their pride stung by retreat, fumed in silence. Their cultivation surpassed his own, yet they had been forced into flight. Strategy, cunning, and cowardice now dictated their movements as they decided to explore the other peaks, leaving the highest summit untouched. Hu Kan and his companions debated briefly, considering reporting back, yet the journey would consume years, and the spoils would likely vanish before they returned. Greed and pride held them fast. They pressed onward to neighboring peaks. Ling Han, unconcerned, busied himself with storing precious godly metal, methodically climbing higher. The mountain yielded its treasures slowly, yet the young cultivator's patience was steadfast. A day passed, and finally, Ling Han and Empress Luanxing reached the summit. The paw, vast and domineering, radiated a frightening aura that made their hearts race as though threatened with rupture. Ling Han's question to the Empress was gentle. "Shall we take temporary refuge?" "I can endure a while longer," she replied, serene and composed. "When I cannot, I will let you know." Ling Han surveyed the shattered palace beneath the paw's crushing weight. Once grand, it now lay in ruins, divine energy extinguished in the wreckage. Among the rubble, he recognized the green origin jade, a saintly material of the lowest grade, yet immense in scale. Legends whispered that pieces of such jade, if conscious, could nurture new life, perhaps even reach sainthood. Yet here, it had been consumed in the construction of a palace, a waste beyond measure. The remnants of the jade, though damaged and stripped of divinity, were carefully stored in the Black Tower. Ling Han's heart throbbed with restrained fury. These treasures, once lost to another's hand, now belonged to him. And as he gathered them, a single thought seared through his mind. The owner of that paw would one day be held to account. In this moment, amidst shattered jade and a ruined palace, the young cultivator's resolve burned fiercer than ever, his path forward clear and unyielding. In the aftermath of the cataclysm, the once magnificent palace lay in ruins, a shattered testament to the sheer force that had struck it. The majority of its halls had crumbled, and even the rooms that had avoided the direct impact of the colossal claw were riddled with cracks and splintered foundations. The air still trembled faintly from the shockwave. A power so immense that even the palace, forged from saintly material, the most resilient of mortal constructs, could not endure it. Only the hand of a saint king could have wrought such devastation with a single strike, for mere shockwaves of this magnitude were capable of tearing through the lowest grade of saintly material. Ling Han and Empress Luanxing swept through the wreckage with precision, gathering shards of green origin jade from every corner. Intact or fractured, each piece was carefully secured. There would be time to examine them later. Ling Han moved with a predator's efficiency, a whirlwind across the ruined palace, leaving no treasure unclaimed. The Empress concealed a delicate smile, amused by his relentless fervor. Their search carried them inward, to the outskirts where the ground had been shattered by the claw. Here, the impact had revealed a hidden cavity beneath the palace, an underground chamber, its secrets laid bare by the destructive hand of fate. The pair exchanged a glance, a shared spark of excitement igniting between them. "A treasure trove," they breathed in unison. Beneath the palace, what else could lie but hidden wealth of unimaginable value? This treasure, ordinarily sealed by intricate mechanisms, had been violently exposed. The monstrous paw that had crushed the palace was no ordinary weapon. It had shattered saintly material, leaving a path of revelation. The claw's tips pierced the ground, forming openings large enough for a single person to descend. Yet, even in death, the paw radiated a potent aura, suffocating in its intensity. The Empress herself could not withstand the pressure. To approach unshielded would have been fatal, her form crushed by the residual might. Ling Han, however, was different. His body had transcended the limits of ordinary cultivation, a vessel of raw power far exceeding his level. Here, the aura affected cultivation, not absolute strength, and so he advanced with the calm of one untouchable. He drew the Empress into the Black Tower for safety, returning himself to the site with measured caution. The closer he drew to the claw, the more he felt the formidable regulations encasing the area. Golden blades, shimmering with the weight of immutable law, floated before him, slicing the very air. Even a slight motion stirred them, creating rifts as if the heavens themselves trembled. Ling Han's face grew pale. This was no ordinary defense. The blades bore the indomitable will of a Saint King. One misstep could obliterate him completely, shattering flesh and spirit alike. Though his body rivaled level 15 godly metal, these manifestations of pure will would be lethal regardless of his fortitude. With patience and calculation, Ling Han entered the Black Tower each step of the way, letting the golden blades sweep past harmlessly. Their pace was deliberate, yet their lethality remained unchanged, capable of annihilating small or medium saints. By moving with caution, Ling Han bridged the perilous 100 steps to the treasure trove over half a day, each stride a silent dance with death. At last, he stood before the massive paw. Its metallic hide exuded a chilling reverence, a primordial aura of divinity and horror intertwined. Though grotesque in form, it radiated sacredness, a testament to the might of its vanished master. To attempt to harness its essence would be suicide. Even a trace of its power could shatter his divine senses. Ling Han pondered the coincidence. Had its owner known of the treasure beneath? Perhaps the hand that struck had anticipated the path of the three Phoenix Kings, setting a trap long ago. Could a spy have infiltrated the ranks of the Heavenly River King? The alignment of events hinted at careful orchestration. A surprise strike, a paw smashing through defenses, a treasure laid bare. The battle that had ensued, snapping the claw and countering the intruder, must have been a clash of Saint Kings, heaven-shaking, earth-rending, capable even of obliterating stars. Cautiously, Ling Han descended through the fissure. The space was ample for three to pass, yet the proximity of the paw demanded restraint. Hours passed, sweat soaking his robes until he finally reached the bottom. Only then did he survey the trove in its full glory. Mountains of god tools, piles of godly metal, level 17, level 18, and even level 20 saintly material glinting with divine light. The path he had crossed, paved with level 16 godly metal, seemed trivial compared to the treasures now revealed. Ling Han's heart swelled with triumph. He claimed the riches with a grin that stretched wide, envisioning each prize apportioned to his brothers, wives, disciples, and even as a bargaining tool for a dragon's horn. Though no saint tools bore their own martial intent, the god tools were formidable, each a weapon of destruction in capable hands. Even damaged saintly material, cracked by the enormous paw, was secured, destined to be consumed by the divine demon sword in time. Saintly medicines, though lifeless, joined the hall. With his Black Tower, their potential would be fully realized. The Empress, released to witness the spectacle, marveled at the sheer abundance of saintly material, pondering aloud the audacity of the Heavenly River King. Could this vast hoard, surely from the celestial realm itself, have justified the assault of so many saint kings? Ling Han, weighing each treasure in his hands, felt a thrill of victory, tempered by the careful consideration of what must be preserved for allies and future exchanges. With diligence, he secured every prize, each step echoing the silent poetry of a martial hero, claiming his due from the chaotic remnants of divine warfare.